りがとうございます。次はご質問ある方いらっしゃいますでしょうか。はい、じゃあこちらはですね、メガネかけているピンクのシャツを着ている中央の男性の方です。
心のことだというのはドラさんにお伺いしたいんですけども、これほどの招待客で、しかもオスカー監督のノウハウとオスカー俳優のノウハウと一緒にその共演というか仕事をされた体験はいかがだったでしょうか。
I have a question for Ms. Ayelet. You're in this huge film with Oscar winning a director and actor, so how was the experience?
Fantastic. I had a great time, something I will take with me to the grave. It's something that I have never dreamed will happen. It happened with two great people at the same time, and not only that, people that other people on the set were special, from the camera crew to the makeup and hair, and really everybody on set was so phenomenal that I think this would be one of those things that never happen again. I hope they would, but I'm not sure they would that way.
もうとにかくファンタスティックです。で、もうとにかく楽しい時間を過ごしました。多分この経験は私の墓場までずっと記憶に残っているものだと思いますし、でこれは夢にも見ていたことなんですけど、実際に起こるとは思っていなかった。そして同時に2人のこの偉大な人たちと仕事ができたこと、またもちろん他の、現場にいた方々、みんな特別な方々で、もうカメラのスタッフからメイクさん、ヘアのもう全ての方々で、本当に、素晴らしい方々と、仕事ができました。もう二度とこういう経験はできないかもしれませんが、二度目があるように祈っています。ありがとうございました。さあ、続いてご質問のある方いらっしゃいますか。はい。じゃあすいません、こちらの茶色い3列目の女性の方お願いします。はい、そのまま手を挙げてください。セイコムスネガムリズムの中村です。そうですね。共演されたアイレット・ゾラさん、とても魅力的な女性なんですけれども、そのハンクスさんは数々の謎を解いていたわけなんですが、アイレット・ゾラさんの何か秘密というか謎は解けたでしょうか。そのハンクさんです。はい、すみません。Okay, question from Mr. Song Han, is from Jacob, and this Ayelet in the film is wonderful and very attractive, very appealing. In the film, you have to solve many mysteries and find secrets and stuff. So, Ayelet, did you find any secrets that she had? Did you find any secrets of her?
Did I find any secrets of Ayelet? Well, let me pull out my list that I have that goes on and on. Ayelet was the great treasure of making the movie. Ron the nice guy, and I like Ryan too, but if you notice in the film that this is how Langdon and Vittoria Vetra meet for the first time. It looks like this. So that's it. That was their first meeting. So to be able to play a man and a woman who are so intrinsically connected to each other for the rest of the movie, you would think that there would not be an awful lot of interest. But I think because of our both approach to the film and how good Ron is, that I think there's an awful lot that is communicated between Langdon and Vittoria by a nod, by an agreement, by a casual look that carries an awful lot of communication. I will say that as far as secrets goes, Ayelet has none. She's very open about absolutely everything. She doesn't lie. She doesn't say, and by the way, if you've done something stupid, she finds a way to let you know just how stupid you are. In a good way. I mean, in a wonderful way.
今ちょっと真似をしましたけど、ランドンとビクトリア初対面の場面ありございましたね。それ今ちょっとなさいました。ああいうふうにしていますですね。で、別にあまり深い感じではないけども、ちょっとしたうなずくとか、ちょっとした認識で2人がコミュニケーションを深めていくという、そういうような間柄を演じていたわけです。そして、海外での芝居というとむしろそ ラスで、あなたがバカなことをしたら、あなたはバカだとちゃんと教えてくれるからなんだ。ありがとうございました。ありがとうございます。続いてご質問の中でよろしくお願いしますか。はい、そちらのですね、黒い、こちら、メガネの男性の方、高校の方です。リリコさんの、ごめんなさい。はい、リリコさんの方です。
AU1 の森川さんは、モンハード監督の質問です。今回は期間で、すべての一部撮影許可を担って、ローマ時代でゲリラ撮影を行ったことをしたんですが、宗教がテーマということで、どんな、撮影に関して苦労されたのか、それともダヴィンチコードですでに軽減されているので、それほど、苦労はなかったのか教えてください。
There is a question for the director, Mr. Ron Howard. I hear that you couldn't get permits for shooting in the Vatican for some areas, and so you had to do some guerrilla type of shooting. Could you tell us about that? And also, because of the themes involved, the religious themes, what were the difficulties involved, or had you already experienced them for Da Vinci Code already, so they were not so difficult?
Well, in filming, we knew we wouldn't have cooperation from the Vatican because even going back to Da Vinci Code, every time we asked to be able to film around the Catholic Church or inside a Catholic Church, it was always rejected. But what I wanted to do is, during our time in Rome, somehow photograph something from just about every scene in the movie there, and then use that as a foundation so we have complete authenticity in our film. So we would go back and not be inventing something visually, but instead building upon what we already shot in Rome to try to create for the audience something that's completely immersive. They can lose themselves in Rome with Robert Langdon on this adventure. As far as the guerrilla shooting, we didn't break any laws, but we didn't always ask permission for everything we were going to do. And there was an element of shooting this movie that was like an indie street film, where you would have just a short amount of time in a particular location. You would go with the smallest crew as possible, shoot something, and move on. We had several units shooting at the same time in and around Rome, and our objective was to get as much of Rome itself into the movie as we possibly could. I'm also very proud as a director of what our production designer did, what our special effects team did in terms of using every trick in cinema, from illusions that were first used 100 years ago in silent movies to the latest visual technology to try to create this feeling for the audience that they were in Rome, it was real, it was happening, and it's not about movie magic, it's about special